Yeah. Welcome to the podcast, Jazz. I'm so excited to be chatting with you again.
Thanks for having me on again. I'm so excited to be on here.
Yeah, so can you just, I guess, tell everyone, just a little bit about yourself for, those that haven't listened to our first episode together?
So yeah, we recorded an episode, I think it was back in like 2021. And we mostly talked about Candida in that episode, but my name is Jass and I am a certified holistic nutritionist and community herbalist, and I focus on gut health for women. So a lot of the things that I do in my practice, a lot of the modalities are cleanses. So Candida cleansing, parasite cleansing, liver detoxes, and gut healing, of course. A lot of my clients deal with gut issues as well as skin issues. So the two go hand in hand, as I'm sure we'll kind of talk about today as well. But that's kind of what I do with most of my practice, is seeing clients one-on-one. And then I do also have a tea company, which is called Leaves, and we just rebranded. We just relaunched two new teas. And so, yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Yeah, and I love your rebrand, like I said before. Like, I literally just got it in the mail today. I was so excited. I was like, oh, perfect timing.
I love it. I can't wait to hear about like your thoughts and like see what you think of it. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm so excited for the skin and like the details. I feel like I'm most excited for the skin. Like, I've already had the blow, like, I know it's awesome. So,
Thank
I feel
you.
like the other two, they're going to be premium.
I love it. And well, also you, because you are a community herbalist too, like
Mhm.
you can actually, I feel like you appreciate the herbs because you know what's in there. You know that a lot of them aren't very common to find and sorry,
Yeah.
aren't very common to find in like tea remedies that are out there on the market. So I'm excited to
Yeah.
hear what you think of them.
Yeah, and I like how we were just talking about how it says like the Latin words on it, which you like don't ever find in like a
Yeah.
regular like grocery store. So
Yeah.
like that
Yeah,
too.
it's so true. And I think like as we were saying too, I really wanted to put the Latin words in there because I think it allows you to identify with herbs so much more. I think also for you and I being like European, we have this appreciation for showing I guess appreciation for like the motherland, and especially with herbs, I really appreciate like that part of it as well.
No, yeah, it's so true. So with that, like what sparked your interest in starting Leaves?
So I started Leaves a few years ago, and I truly did not know that it was going to become like a tea brand that I was going to sell. I started it because I was going through my first Candida cleanse, and I was starting to learn more about herbs, and I wasn't sure which ones to have. So I was doing a ton of research, and I came across these five herbs that are now in Leaves. And so I was drinking this tea every single day, and I didn't really like think much of it. It was just more so for my cleanse. And one of my friends came up to me and she was like, you should like really sell this like with your audience. It would be so great. Like it tastes really nice. And it's just something that a lot of people would find super useful. So I remember starting it and I was like so nervous. I had no savings. I remember looking at it and being like, oh my gosh, this is going to cost me $400 to start. And I was like, I don't have $400 to just like put into this company. I was like, I just went full time in my business. I was like really nervous about it. I was, making money, but also was nervous to let go of any of that. So it's funny now looking at it where I'm like, okay, $400 was like such a scary thing for me to do. And now I'm like, thank gosh I took that leap, because in the grand scheme of things, that was such a tiny amount compared to like what it really takes to build a business now in terms of like the financial assistance. So yeah, I started Leaves. I started to sell it. It went really well. We had our first tea, which was Bloat, which was previously called Leaves. And that one, we did small batches. It would always sell out, which was so exciting. And then in 2022, in the holiday season, we did a Winter Leaves, which was really fun. It was our first like limited edition uh holiday blend. And I know you and I have talked about it too. And then yeah, we ended up like rebranding just recently, and it's been so exciting. It's been so nice to like watch it come to life, because there was so much work put into this rebrand of the teas and the packaging and everything. So it's been really great to just watch it come into fruition. But basically, I know I feel like I'm just like going all over the place. Um, but yeah, really getting into a candida cleanse and learning about herbs. And then just, I became so fascinated with everything that had to everything I had to go through with the cleanse, and herbs were a huge factor that really supported me through it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I love that your friend like kind of urged you, because I feel like if it wasn't for that person, like you probably wouldn't have started it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's so amazing.
And I feel like just for following you, I guess since like I guess like early 2021, I guess when we connected, I think it's so cool to see like your packaging like over time like change. Like I wasn't there from like the right beginning, but like, I was in there from the start, I would say.
I love that. And that's so great to hear, because yeah, it's so funny. Like I remember when I first started, I was like, wow, like this packaging cannot get any better. And then we went to the second phase, and I was like, okay, I've never seen better packaging. And now where I'm at, I'm like, I truly have never felt so aligned with the presentation of leaves and the feel of leaves and the smell of it. So it's so cool to like watch this evolution happen. I actually have on my website, in my About Me section, I have like a bit of like kind of like these like photos that show the evolution of leaves and the branding and everything like that. But it's been like a really cool journey to watch it, just like um I don't know how to say it, but like watch the design change to
Right.
match the teas.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's so just like I feel like minimal, but like clean and just yeah, I feel like it like just like the words, I have it here now, but like the descriptive words on it just like explain like what it is, and it's like easy, just like appealing to the eye, like.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So I guess what have you learned, I guess, from like starting leaves and like being a small business owner? Because there are challenges and all that stuff with it. Just I guess
Mhm.
like what have you been faced with that?
There's been so many big lessons in the years of doing leaves. And so I should say this too. Prior to now, I kind of did leaves more so on the side. So I've been doing my one-on-one consulting, which is like the majority of my work, which I would say is more so like my full-time job, and where most of my time goes to. So I kind of just did leaves when we had our small batches. I didn't put like a crazy amount of effort into it, because I never really saw it being something that I wanted to like expand fully. People always told me to like wholesale it into stores, and I thought that that was a great idea, but I was like, I just don't have time. I love leaves being like this small, I loved having like a smaller vision for it, as weird as that sounds. And so since like really wanting to elevate it, I've been learning so much. There's just been so many lessons. I think like one of the hardest lessons I've learned, okay, there's a lot.
Yeah.
But one of them is that you really have to protect your business. I feel like I've been faced with a lot of challenging situations lately. One of them being a brand wanting to come in and partner with Leaves, which I thought was so exciting. And I was like over the moon about this. I thought it was such an amazing opportunity. They were saying that they could get me into the Bay and like all these great things. And then
Wow.
I really realized that I was like truly diminishing the value that I had for this. And it was my boyfriend who was like, no, you like, wait, this does not seem right. Like this is like your business. Like, I don't want you giving up 50% of it. And so, yeah, there's been just a lot of lessons. There's been a ton of lessons with suppliers. Choosing the right supplier, having trust, identifying red flags, and being able to move on from those red flags if you see them, identifying incredible relationships and being able to cultivate those and appreciate those and work together has been huge. And then, of course, pricing. In the herb world, everything goes up in price. Sourcing always goes up, especially in our economy today. Things are constant, herbs are constantly getting more and more expensive. And so I think it's really difficult to find this like happy medium when it comes to the back end of like the small business, but then also, getting it in your customers' hands. So
Mm.
that's been challenging. But I think like I would say the biggest lesson has been just like constantly pivoting. Like that's one thing I can say I've confidently been really good at because of all the lessons is like seeing an error, being emotional about it for 30 seconds to 30 minutes, and then moving on and just pivoting right away. So um, yeah, it's been a lot.
Yeah. No, I bet like it's been challenging, like, yeah, with suppliers, like, especially like now
Mhm.
as prices are going up and you're like, oh great, then I have to like increase my price, or I don't know, you have to like figure
Yeah.
out like what's gonna go essentially. But I guess like
Yeah.
with suppliers, have you always had the same one for herbs, or has it like changed?
Yeah, so I have had the same one for a few years, and we actually recently just changed because um, we had a relationship where I think like once like leaves started to get a bit more demand, um, it didn't seem as much of a priority on the other side, or there were a lot of things like that were lacking. Such incredible people, but I think that it was like one of those things where someone said to me that like no one will ever care about your business as much as you do, and it's so
Mhm.
true. It couldn't be more true. I think about that for myself, all of my friends, like your business is your baby. And so I think it's so important to protect it and also know when a relationship is amazing, but you also need to move away from it. So I'm on to my second supplier, and it's been such an amazing experience. I've had incredible experiences. It's just one of those things where, again, like you pivot if something changes, because you're doing everything to support what is happening in your business.
Yeah, for sure. So I want to talk about like your main tea, like the bloat one. So could you
Yeah.
share like all the ingredients that are in that tea and how they like help to like support digestion, like reduce bloating?
Yes. So bloat is our OG, our original tea. And like I said, prior to being called bloat, it was leaves, but now our business is called leaves. So bloat has peppermint, fennel, dandelion root, lavender, rose, and chamomile. So there's a lot of carminative herbs in here to help fight gas and bloat, and also really soothe the digestive tract.
Mhm.
So peppermint and fennel work so well together. I know you know this
Yeah.
too. And they really help to just like disintegrate gas.
Mm.
And for those of you who have never tried this, chewing on fennel seeds after meals is a really good way to reduce bloat quite or it's more so gas to reduce
Yeah.
gas and like that buildup of gas. And it works really, really well. When I first started cleansing, one of my friends introduced me to this, and he was like, not only is it really great for candida, but it's also really good for reducing bloat right after meals. And in Indian culture, that's something that they do after almost every single meal, is that they have fennel seeds. So I thought that was so interesting. And even for myself, if I'm out, and especially in BC, Vancouver, and Victoria, you'll find fresh fennel seeds in like, what would you say, like late summer, fall
Yeah.
time?
Yeah, I think it's like more like late summer, like or like mid,
Yeah.
yeah, like July, August.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so, the taste is just so incredible. And it's just so great to have like post dinner. And so fennel and peppermint are really good for reducing that bloat and gas. Dandelion root, so great for the liver. It's one of the best herbs we can use for the liver. And then chamomile is really good for reducing the bloat, but it also has a really nice relaxing um, action to it, as well as lavender and rose. So those are going to just like really help with sleep, stress. So overall, bloat is obviously really great for our digestive system, but it's also used as a really nice relaxant. And you can have this hot, you can have it cold. A lot of people actually love making it iced, which is really cool. I love it iced as well. I'm actually drinking
Oh, yay.
bloat right now, and I've like had it chilled for a while, and it's a really nice like post dinner or midday tea.
No, yeah, I love having it post dinner. It's just like so, or
Yeah.
just like an hour before bed, because like you said, it has the lavender
Yeah.
and chamomile to just help like relax you. It's not gonna obviously put you out in like 10 minutes,
Yes.
but it's like still gonna just like help, just yeah, like help with that sleep later on.
Exactly. Yeah, I love it. And I think like so many people actually like even in our reviews have said that they really like it as like a after dinner tea
Mhm.
specifically because it just helps them like get ready for bed and stuff. So I think that's really cool. Like I think it's really amazing that we can use teas as a practice and that's why I really like teas versus, taking a supplement because we have to prepare the tea, wait for the hot water, wait for the tea to steep, drink the tea, and it just becomes this ritual. And while you're doing all that, you're relaxing your body, you're taking time for yourself, and you're really slowing down. And that's something that most of us don't get to do on a day-to-day basis because we live in this hustle culture.
No, I love that too. Like tinctures too. Like you can also like
Yeah.
take that as well. But yeah,
Yeah.
just with like a capsule form, like yeah, it's great. You're getting it and it's going to like your gut or wherever like it needs to go. But with the tea, like you're specifically like tasting that and just like embodying the tea itself.
Exactly. I'm curious, what are your favorite herbs?
Okay, I love nettle just because it's so nourishing.
Yeah.
Particularly I feel like just for like because I've been dealing with like hair loss, so like with
Yeah.
hair, just like
Yeah.
nourishing it. I haven't tried to do like a hair rinse yet. I might try that because people, I don't know, like swear by it. Like, have you tried a hair rinse?
With the nettle?
Yeah, or just like any herb.
I haven't tried it with nettle, but I've tried it with rosemary.
Oh, and
Yeah.
it's good. Like
You
you,
know what? I don't think I tested it out long enough to
yeah,
like know if it worked. I will say I did like rinse my hair with the rosemary. I made like a tea
yeah,
essentially, right? Because I know some people will like use like rosemary essential oil or nettle oil. I don't even know if you can get a nettle essential oil. I don't think you can. I don't know, maybe you can. Yeah. But I will say I noticed it dried my hair out, and I'm not sure if that's because rosemary has more of like a drying
right.
aspect to it, I think.
I think it does.
Yeah, but otherwise, like, I mean, I have heard such amazing things about it, so I'd be curious, but I've heard really good things about the nettle too, so that'd be super interesting to test out.
No, yeah, and then I also love licorice for like herbs and stuff, just like
Yeah.
hormones. Yeah, that one's good.
Do you like the flavor of it?
I do. Yeah, it's
You
similar like
do.
it's similar to like fennel, like it's
Yeah.
like that taste, that licorice taste, you
I
know.
know. I remember I was drinking this tea for my skin a while ago and I had the licorice in it.
Mhm.
And at first I was not a fan of it, so I
It is
removed
quite
it. It's
strong.
strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I removed it and I was actually thinking of putting it into skin because I really loved the like flavor of it
Ones.
myself. But then after removing it, I was like, hey, this is a bit more subtle, but I miss the licorice.
Mhm.
But I did get a lot of people to test out the licorice in the skin formula before like going live with it. And a lot of people were not down for the
Well, that's good to
licorice.
know.
Yeah.
Or else it
Yeah.
could have been
It's
a
a strong
flop.
one.
Yeah. But then also I like love ginger. Like that one is just so good too.
Yeah.
Like
So
just like
nice.
warming, I feel like for the winter times at least.
I know. I feel like it's like a really nice, like cozy hug.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah.
I love
So I
it.
want to talk about your other two teas, detox and skin, and just like what types of herbs like are in them and like the benefits with those.
So we just came out with skin and detox. So these are new herbal formulations in our line. I'm so excited about these ones because all three of these have really helped me in my health journey, especially doing candida and parasite cleansing, gut healing, and obviously with skin support. For those who don't know me or like my story, I struggled with perioral dermatitis. And so skin was something that was really difficult for me to
Mhm.
overcome. It was something I've never struggled with before. And so I really did a ton of research on how and what herbs to take in order to kind of balance my skin. So in 2021, I was dealing with a lot of skin issues after the state of the world and mandates and all of that. And I really need to get my body back into balance. And my skin was really, really inflamed. So after drinking this tea, a really similar formula to what skin is right now, minus the licorice, and I also had a bit of fennel in there. I
Right.
purposely removed those because of like the strong flavor they had. I was drinking this for 4 months and it really helped me improve my skin. So I wanted to bring this onto leaves because I knew it helped so many of us. So in skin, we have calendula. Calendula is an incredible herb for the skin. It's known as one of the best herbs for skin, and it's also really good for the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is an incredible way for our bodies to detox, and I think it's so important for us to emphasize this. So calendula can also be really great for people who have fungal acne. So again, for those who have candida or parasites, this can be very common. You do want to use fresh calendula in this case. Obviously, in our formula, we have dried, but calendula is just so good and soothing for skin, especially that redness. We also have go-to cola, which you won't really see in a lot of formulas. It's a bit of a harder herb to get, but I really wanted to have this in our formula because I truly think it's done such wonders for my skin. Gotu kola is, again, one of the best herbs that we can use for our skin. It's super cleansing and nourishing. Then we also have marshmallow root. Marshmallow root is so healing for our gut lining, and it really helps to soothe and protect our gut lining. And in turn, that really helps to soothe our skin. So if you think about redness and inflammation, that's what's going to, marshmallow root is going to really help that aspect of it. And then rose, which we know is used in a lot of like hydrosols and toners for a topical support, but rose is also really good for your skin and for reducing inflammation internally. It also has like such a nice flavor to it. Rose is so beautiful too. If you just make a tea out of it, the water like from the tea is just like this beautiful pink color. It's insane. Like it's so, so beautiful. And then nettle, like you were saying, nettle is, it's like a multi-mineral. Like you are getting so many nutrients from nettle. It's really helping to remineralize your body. And then we added peppermint. Originally I was going to do chamomile or, like I said, fennel, but peppermint gives it a bit more flavor and it gives it this cooling sensation, which I think is so important when you're doing something for your skin, because you want to, again, with redness and inflammation, you want to be able to cool your skin down. So that's in our skin formula. With our skin formula, you do want to make sure that you do a cold infusion. So I have a reel on my Instagram page on this. And you, so you can see like how you create a cold infusion, but essentially instead of heating water and adding this to the herbs, you're actually allowing the herbs to sit overnight on the counter, or you can put it in, if it's not too hot in your house, you can put it in the fridge as well. And you're essentially letting the water steep in these herbs for 8 hours, 10 hours with room temperature water. And this really helps with, for one, nettle. Nettle is really good when you're able to like nettle. It's really important to steep nettle for a longer period of time so that you can pull those minerals from it. And then for marshmallow root, you want to be careful with heating it. If you heat marshmallow root, you're kind of denaturing a lot of the properties that we want specifically for the gut and the skin. So allowing it to be a cold infusion, you're keeping all those properties there, and really supporting the skin.
No, yeah, I feel like that's so important, like how we were saying how some teas in the store that you find on the shelf like have marshmallow and then it doesn't say to do a cold infusion. I feel like
Yeah.
people just wouldn't know unless, because I didn't know about a cold infusion until I went to like herbalist school.
Yeah.
And so like when you learn about that, like yeah, it's so important to just let it do, I guess, with like filtered water, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's so interesting because like I didn't really know that there was a difference. And even for myself, and like you were saying, like we'll go out and find these teas. And again, every like I think there are so many incredible teas out there and so many amazing flavors and benefits, and
Yeah.
you can find everything and anything. But I also think it's so important to have education behind product as well, which is something that I really value with my products, is that I have done the research. I am a nutritionist and community herbalist. So
Mhm.
we're able to kind of like do that research and feel so confident bringing this out.
Mhm.
So yeah, just be mindful with, um, I would just say be mindful with those kinds of herbs. You want to make sure that you aren't heating them.
No, yeah, for sure. And then could you also talk about detox and then, yeah, just like what's in that?
Yes. So detox is our third formula. So this one again was something that I was drinking to really help with the liver. I think so many of us forget that the liver is so crucial when it comes to skin issues and gut issues and energy. So with our detox formula, we have burdock. Burdock is so great for cleansing the liver and for helping with removing waste from the body. Detox is not a laxative in any way. If you drink detox, it's not like you're running to the bathroom or have to be near a toilet or anything like that. I think that laxatives can be very dangerous. This is just a very nice everyday detox that you can have and really enjoy. And it helps with water retention. It helps with supporting the liver, with skin, energy, and digestion. So we have burdock, nettle again to help with those minerals and remineralize the body. Dandelion root, one of the best herbs we can use for our liver. And that's super great, especially for those who aren't able to go to the bathroom. Dandelion root and burdock combined can really help you get to that one bowel movement per day. But again, not creating this excessive need to be near a toilet, of course. Cleavers is another herb that we have in our product, and cleavers is really good for the lymphatic system. It's one of the best herbs for the lymphatic system. So while we're cleansing the liver, we're also working on the lymphatic system, which is helping that detox even further. And then lastly, we have ginger, which just helps to bring more warmth to the formula. It helps to give it a bit more of that like nice brothy flavor, and also helps to reduce inflammation. So all of these combined are just a really nice everyday detox that'll help to support your skin, your digestive system. If you're doing a candida or parasite cleanse, or if you're going out away for a weekend or for a trip, detox will be really helpful to kind of just keep you back in balance.
Mhm.
And yeah, and then that with detox, you just make it as a normal tea, so you can just steep hot water with it.
Yeah. No, I'm so excited for that one too. I feel like that one, like you said, like helps with skin as well because it's helping the liver and that in turn.
Yeah,
Skin.
yeah, exactly. And it's like it's so gentle too, but
Mhm.
with the herbs that it has in there, it's gonna really help to support your liver.
No, yeah, for sure. So with that, do you have a favorite product?
Um, I would say right now, it's so hard. I'm like looking at them right now.
Yeah.
I feel like bloat is my baby,
Mm.
so I'll probably say bloat just because I've seen, um, I think I've seen myself grow so much with it, and I've seen bloat change so much too. And it's also just like truly every single time I drink it, it just takes me back to the moment when I was making leaves in my kitchen, not knowing what I was doing. So I really love that for that aspect. In terms of like efficacy, and the one that has helped me the most, I would say skin is my favorite. I think skin has just been so healing. But it's hard though, because I would say like detox has been really good for like skin recovery as well. So no, I don't have a favorite one.
You're like all of them, please.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Yeah, no, you can't give one up.
Yeah, you have to tell me what your favorite is, so once you try them.
Oh, we'll let you know. I feel
Thank
like I'm
you.
gonna say skin, but I don't know. But I feel like blow is also the first one that I tried too. So
Right. Yeah, yeah, it's like the OG, so.
I also have the winter one. Is that one gonna come back? Because like that one I love.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's so good to hear because I've had a lot of people say that they want it to be like a yearly thing too. I think I might bring it back in the winter season. It's super warming because it has the cardamom, the ginger, the rose in there. So it's like it's extra heating. And I think for a lot of people it can be too much.
Mm.
But it did, like I had really incredible responses for it. So maybe a holiday one again.
Yeah, please. Yeah,
I'll let you know for sure.
yeah. So what is one thing that you do to live nourished?
I would say right now it has been just going for like evening walks. It's
Mm.
been something that's just been really like something I look forward to every single day. And I know that I can just go for a walk, especially with the nicer weather. I'll always go for a walk, have a tea in my hand, whichever one it is. Depending on the times, maybe it's a matcha, and I'll have like put my AirPods in, listen to a podcast or talk to a friend, or even just listen to nothing at all. And it just allows me to like slow down for the day. And it's not necessarily me putting nutrients into my body or taking supplements other than the tea, of course. But it's just like physically and emotionally, it feels so supportive.
No, I love that. And I feel like it's movement and I feel like that's so
Yeah.
underrated, like going on walk. Then it's like, oh, like you just walk. It's like, yeah, I do. Like, you know, like
Yeah.
it does
It
so
makes
much.
such a
Even if it's
difference.
like, oh, sorry, like even if it's just like 20 minutes, like you're still, like moving your body and it's still like just like so refreshing.
Yeah. And it also, like, I think for me, it really gets me into like this different headspace, which
Mm.
is so nice. And especially like I like to go on walks prior to having dinner so that I kind of feel like I don't know, it's like a really nice way to start the
Mm.
evening.
No, yeah, for sure. So my last question is like, where can everyone find you and connect with you and then shop for leaves?
So you can find me at Nourish with Jass on Instagram. And then you can find Leaves on Shop Leaves Co. on Instagram. And we're also Shop Leaves on TikTok. And then you can shop for leaves on shopleaves.co. But if you need help finding any of those, just send me a DM on Instagram and we can chat from there.
Yeah, and I'll have it in the description so people can just click the link.
Amazing. Perfect. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Jazz, for coming on. I just loved chatting and just hearing about like your story with leaves and just yeah, formulating it all.
Oh, well, I appreciate you reaching out. It was like so nice to reconnect with you. And yeah, I love how we could probably talk about this forever.
Honestly, yeah. Mm.